Hello. What I'm doing here is just keeping an archive for video I want to make later. So basically, I used to draw a whole lot when I was, well, just in general. But I haven't done it in so long, I've lost some ability, and I just want to try to get back into it. Just go over some basics and see what I remember, what I can get out of it. Apparently the camera's crooked. I tried to fix that, but oh well, what can you do? So, look up some stuff real quick. Um, I like having my own thumbnails in my other channels when I make them. And I'll use AI if I have to, but I'd rather not if I can help it. So, and it's kind of hard to do your own. It's kind of hard to do your own thumbnails and other projects I want to do. I'd enjoy doing if I can't draw. So it's just a matter of getting back into practice. So let's see. I guess I'll start off with my logo on the main channel. And if you happen to pop in and see this channel particularly is where I'm just planning on dumping everything. I do have a website, but I don't host my own videos. So I just plan on linking videos to my website. Oh wow, you can't see that at all. Okay. Hopefully, whenever I get to the inking, do these have black? When I get to the inking, that'll be better. Yeah, these do have black. Stop by Hobby Lobby, got me a new set of markers. So, homegrown entertainment. I came up with that idea when I was, I guess, 10, 11 years old. I thought, I'm going to make my own comic and animation company, and it's going to be homegrown entertainment. And I don't have the original picture anymore. I wish I did. But it was a potted plant with a video game controller growing out of it, a comic book growing out of it, and a movie reel growing out of it. Well, a lot of those things I just don't have the ability to do anymore. Or I never had the ability. I learned the wrong thing. I'd still like to do them in pastime, but what I've really been passionate about here these past few years have been music. So the main channel, Homegrown Entertainment, has been music focused. Let's see. Do an old style ribbon microphone. What do those look like? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So since my main channel is music now, it's kind of square shape. Can't really tell, so we'll put a little music doodad there. Kind of indicate that's a microphone. Oh, I got that too low. Can you see it? Yeah, there you go. Let's get into focus. This is real shiny in here. What I'll do is I have a digital tablet, and I'll go over this on the Krita program. After I draw it, I'll scan it into my computer. But until then, so we have that. We have music. You know what? This is the concept art. Because I just grabbed some free art for the actual logo. And for my website, I just grabbed free art. I need a ruler. I don't have a ruler. But what I do have is a Lego. There we go. Yeah, it's nice and straight. It ain't even with the circle, but it's something. We'll call this my idea book. Number 1. Idea book number 1. Get that little tune peg drawn there. Next. I used to mess around with the game program Mugen back in the day. And it's still popular. Still got a cult following to the best of my knowledge, my understanding. But I just don't really mess with it anymore. I'd like to make some characters on it and upload those. Let's see, what's a generic controller shape? Do a little D-pad, and your required 4 buttons and a couple of joystick, your start buttons. There we go. Then we can have the film reel sitting over here. That is not staying. That cheap rubber ain't staying. Okay. And what it can do is it can come behind jump around because I make videos on this channel, so I can still incorporate that video reel, even though I probably won't be doing animations anymore. I'm liking that. I'm liking how this is turning out. You can't see me, but I'm liking how this is turning out. They go try to let the stream catch up there. So hopefully you'll get a better look at it once I scan it in, and I'll upload it then and there. But put a big O HGE. And so I call it homegrown entertainment. I've always liked when individual people upload. You know, internet's become very, some would say, corporate. I like finding people who just upload what they want, not because they get a paycheck from YouTube and their supporters, because that's what they have a passion for and that's what they want to upload. Some people get the benefit of having enough supporters where they can do big time projects. But then I occasionally find some smaller channel people, and they get just enough to make it month to month. That it's not a job for them. They still have their regular job, but it's still a passion project. That's what this is. This is a passion project. And my brother has a YouTube channel. He uses it as a personal journal, a diary. He's not doing it for his people. He's doing it for him. And I try to do that, and I wind up making it a job. Oh, I have to upload this many times a week, and then I just don't enjoy what I'm doing, and so I have to stop for a while. So I don't have a regular schedule, and I'm probably never have a regular schedule on here because this is a passion project. It'll never be a job. And my website was a learning experience, but I still enjoy it. I have a tip jar on there. I don't expect to get anything off of it, but I have a tip jar. And so if I make good enough content and people wind up liking it, they can leave $1. But that's neither here nor there. Comic book. That microphone needs to go in the middle. I'm going to make a small note of that. Put in middle. Because the music is one of the main focuses. But I'll erase that. I can see it. You can't see it. But I'll still be able to see it. You know what? I can do this. Because I've wrote a couple of songs, we can put some musical notes over here. There we go. What else? What else? we'll go ahead and put the comic book over here. It's like a little sad robot. We don't want a little sad robot. There we go. I don't know if you can see, it looks like a little sad robot back there. Yeah, you can't see it no more. Okay. So we have comic, games, movies all back here. We got the music stuff over here. You know what? I've been uploading old cassettes and vinyls. So and I know art can get too busy if you're not careful, so I am trying to be careful with that. But I'll just write that out. Not everything needs big stylized letters. Vinyl. I'll just make that a certain way when I do it. And we'll just do the watering can of the mind, sprinkling the watering can of the mind, watering the pot of creativity. I like that. I like that. Alrighty. I want to try to black this and see, ink it, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully you'll be able to see some of it. Nope, don't smell them. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, I didn't notice that when I bought these. Alright, so let's see, let the camera get up there. Let it catch up. Alright, check this out, check this out. Tip, fine tip. An actual marker. You know what? It says it on the box. Fine liner markers, twin tip water based. A 2mm and a 0.4mm. So I got a pen as well as a marker. I only bought this for the fine tip. I didn't buy it for the medium. I like that. I like that. I can try to take advantage of that. Try to be careful with my line work. Can anybody see that? Is anybody even able to see that? No? Is it too much light? Let's see if I turn off my backup light. If people's able to see it then. Is it the computer? No, it's not the computer. I don't know how to help you with the light situation. But anyway. Go on, little father. So when I was younger, something else I used to do was make a lot of fan comics, but I never uploaded them to anything. And I'd like to do that a little bit again. I've always wanted to do a Superman one, even a Justice League to a small, lesser degree. And I guess with the new James Gunn Superman, that's perfect time to do it. But that's not the biggest thing I want to do. That's not my biggest focus right now. You know what? I like how that turned out. I don't have to move that in the middle. So one of my ideas, one of my plans I really want to do was old Merry Melody Looney Tunes. And even some of the old Disney stuff, they take a song and they'd make a little cartoon around a song. Where I like looking up old folk songs or even songs that are just almost lost to time, just thrown in an archive somewhere. I like to make a little cartoon about some of them. Example, Grandpa Jones has one called The Banjo and the Instrument for Me. Well, I went to looking it up, and I found it on the Library of Congress. I found it on the Library of Congress, and the tunes are similar but different, and the words are very different. And it tells a story. The original tells a story. It's a simple story. It was an old minstrel song, or I'm thinking you pronounce it minstrel. So it was a storytelling song. And I'd like to make a little small cartoon about it. Some people get mad and say, "Oh, that's so racist. You're doing a minstrel song." I'm picking and choosing. It's history. You know, you don't want something that just goes around throwing slurs everywhere, and you don't want something that's trying to be derogatory on purpose. But if you get a time period piece, you get a time period piece. The man was in the story. The man was a slave. That's just history. You're not going to get around that. But the song goes, the banjo's the instrument for me. He loved the banjo, the instrument, and whenever his master was about to die, they called him to play the song he liked the best because The singer of the song, was the favorite banjo player. And all stories to a degree come from another older story. So even if you don't like that concept, you can take it and work it into something new. And then there's other songs I want to try to do little. If I can't do an animation, I'll do a comic of it. Excuse me. What's the man's name? William S. Pitts. He wrote the song "Church in the Wildwood," and so I'd like to take that story and I'd like to animate. I'd love to animate that story. It's I can't remember where it's at offhand, and I don't want to open the computer back up. But he was on the way to visit his fiance, and the coach stopped by in a little forest. And as he was walking by the river during the break of the ride, he said, "This would make a lovely place to plant a church." And he wrote the song "Church in the Wildwood." Well, years later, whenever they came back to take care of her parents, his wife's parents, in their old age, then lo and behold, to his surprise, a little brown church in the Wildwood was being built in the exact spot he wrote that song and said, "It'd be a nice little church. It'd be nice if a little church was planted here." And a little brown church in the Wildwood was planted there, right where he envisioned it. And so he taught the song to some of the men in his Sunday school, and they sang it at the first service of that church, at the christening of that church. And I just think, it doesn't have to be no feature-length movie or nothing. But I think that would be a nice little cartoon I could do. I have to cut corners like Hanna-Barbera and them did. Say what you will about them, they were geniuses in the industry whenever it came to producing cheap, fast animation. And some people, they'll work on a passion project and never get it done. I'd recommend start out small, start out with the bad stuff, with the worst techniques, and work your way up there until you're capable of doing all the high quality stuff like the pros do. Starting to smear a little bit. I gotta be careful of that. I should have started on the right side and went left, but it's making progress. Trying to get these layers proper. Let's see. This is the circle I drew. My particular banjo, it has this big metal drum around it. So I'm just drawing this as a representation. I like to one of these years get me a open back like the old timers had. Learn me some banjo flipping. Okay, that movie reel is going in front, so we're going to skip that. So I'm only getting one shot at these lines. I'm trying to make sure I get them right. Okay. It's coming along nicely. Where's my straight? Well, I let that dry first. Put the Kronk meme in there. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. That thing's a bit overused though. I said earlier I'll use AI art for thumbnails and whatnot. Which, yes, it is good. It is handy. But I also know there's a lot of people out there, especially artists. I mean, you get the dumb people who don't know what they're talking about, but then you do get artists who go, it's an insult to art. It isn't AI art is an insult to true art. And I can see where they're coming from. Because I get the same thing with music. I get emails saying, hey, here's the new hit song from this popular artist, and it's AI. There's no soul to it. You have the song Good Old Mountain Dew. Well, apparently there's a pop song called Diet Mountain Dew. Whenever I was trying to get the words of that, I unwillingly stumbled upon that, and I told my wife I wanted to listen to it just to see what it was. Diet Mountain Dew had nothing to do with Diet Mountain Dew. It was just a word to rhyme with the rest of. It was honestly just a garbage song. I took the lyrics to Good Old Mountain Dew, the original, and I threw it into Chat GPT, and I told it, make me a version about Diet Mountain Dew. And I'm going somewhere with this. And it gave me some words to it. I really want to record it whenever I do the Mountain Dew songs. I really want to record that one, the Diet Mountain Dew, because a soulless machine spat out a much, much better song than the quote-unquote popular artist who couldn't write themselves out of a barrel to save their life. And you may say, well, where's your records? Where's your millions? Well, just because it's popular doesn't mean it's good. And just because it's good doesn't mean it's going to be popular. That's just how the world works now. Everybody, the algorithms send you to what you like, and what people like is easy to consume trash content. But what I'm making is stuff that hopefully my family would enjoy. I'm making stuff that I want to watch. That's my personal standard is if I wouldn't enjoy watching it, I ain't doing it. And so I just find it funny that a soulless machine can make a better song than someone who has thousands of dollars to hire a writing staff to make a song for them. But I went through all that talking about using art in my thumbnails. I want to get better at my drawing, to make better art, to make better thumbnails for my videos. It's a learning experience in general. It gets me off the video games. It gets me off the computers. It keeps me from wasting time. And it works the brain. It helps your brain out, keeps it healthy. But again, just like AI, you have the soulless machine can do better than the talentless hack musician. The soulless machine can sometimes do better than the person who just throws up garbage on DeviantArt. You spend any time on DeviantArt, and someone may say, well, they're kids, they give them a break. Well, yeah, you can give kids a break for bad art, but then you just have the people who put garbage up and they're proud of their garbage, and how dare you say their garbage looks like garbage. So I'm going to admit my stuff don't look the best. People are okay to criticize it, but it's mine, and I'm going to do what I can to improve. Improve where I want to improve, rather. Improve where I can figure out how to improve. I have an old recording on my laptop there of a song I never uploaded to the channel because it's interesting. Even back when I had bad quality equipment, you could tell I was enjoying doing what I was doing. But that particular song, I had spent 4 hours trying to get the perfect take, and it went from well, Ford's got out a brand new car, she rides and shines like a morning star, to Ford's got out a brand new car, she rides and shines like a morning star. It sounded good, it had the right words. A lot of people wouldn't be able to tell, but I could tell. Again, I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. And that's why I want to not make a job out of this. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. And if I enjoy what I'm doing, I didn't think how to make a hand. If I enjoy what I'm doing and I make something that I would enjoy watching, I know other people enjoy watching it. And my tagline is clean family entertainment. Again, there's just so much crap out there. There's so much stuff out there. I'll say it that way. There's so much garbage out there in music and comics and games and TV. Even if you don't want to get into the political stuff, the left going, I don't want my kids watching that, it's propaganda. The right going, I don't want my kids watching that, it's propaganda, while putting out propaganda themselves. Both sides, by the way. The stuff that's not political is just trash that rots the brain. I know they call it brain rot, but it's true, it does. It just rots the brain. There's nothing there. There's nothing engaging. And so I'm trying to make family-friendly entertainment that I can set my nieces and nephews down and let them watch. Say, example. Yes, I'm making some content for my nieces and nephews, and it's not content they'd enjoy. But if it was content I stumbled across, it'd be I want it to be something that if it was content I stumbled across, I wouldn't have to worry about what they're watching. That's what I want to upload. That's what I want to do. If someone else, because that's just the way our world works again, is they'll just sit down. Used to be let the TV parent the kids. Now it's let the tablet, let the computer parent the kids. And so I want content that whenever that inevitably happens, they don't have to worry about, oh, what are they watching? They can just sit back and, oh, there's actually something good on what they used to call the boob tube. That's what they used to call the TVs back in the day. 4, 1, 2, 3. I did not space my lines enough. 2, 3. Four. Oh well, it's a logo anyway. It's going to get shrunk down where you can't see it. Let's see. Holding a watering can. See if I can do this right. Only going to get one shot at this, because if you look, I just have a circle with an arm on it. So, holding the watering can. I ain't got my bug kill in here anymore, so I can't just pick it up. I know. Watering with the GameCube. References are anywhere if you look hard enough. I have to fix that GameCube. The disk drive doesn't want to read anymore. And I found some cheap parts. Oh, I messed that up. Oh well. Sometimes you make a mistake and you gotta live with the mistake. Yeah, that's something I might upload that to the channel if I ever do it. I gotta learn how to fix my GameCube. I mean, there's plenty of tutorials tell you how to do it, but I gotta learn how to do it. I meant to do these in a different color. That's something else I have to learn how to do. I was never a fan of making colored line art. It's just not me. It's just not my style. You know what? That little saying I put. Let's see. How did I say that earlier? The watering can of the mind. Let's see, I gotta get my phone and look up something. I'd like to point out, if anybody sees the post-edited video, again, this goes back to doing what you enjoy doing, not doing it for a job. I've been live streaming for 47 minutes and, well, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've been live streaming for 48 minutes, and I have had 0 viewers, 0 current viewers, and 0 chat according to the YouTube analytics there. So, again, do what you enjoy. The big people have already got, the people who's going to get big on YouTube have already gotten big. It's more than a 1 in a million chance you're going to become big and successful on YouTube. You may get a small following to help out with rent every month, but you're not going, chances are you're not going to get big. So don't get into YouTube looking to get big. Do it and do what you enjoy. Don't look at it as a job. Look at it as sharing your creativity, sharing your hobby, just doing what you want to do. I want to look up something. Alrighty. If anybody who's watched my videos and my lyric videos hasn't caught on yet, I am not good at spelling. So I just wanted to write that down and get some spell check on it. Let's see. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let me just get my little quote here that I made at the start of this. Okay, it's still recording. Okay. We're ready to start coloring. what to start with. Hmm. That's stuck on a bit more. There we go. Start from the right and go left. I don't know if you caught that saying I was coming up with there. So you may ask, well, what's that about? What's that mean? Well, if I had to try to put it where it was talking earlier about um, people making garbage art and garbage music, and you're not allowed to criticize it in today's culture. Well, you are allowed to criticize it. Nobody can stop you. You may sit there and complain like, I got banned from this website for saying somebody's thing was bad. Well, you're using their website, and they have every right to do so. That's why I have my own website. But again, you can just see it if you stop and look. Someone may look back at an old Looney Tunes and go like, oh, how awful and racist that is. I'm so glad we've advanced so far. But then you turn on something from the late 90s and early 2000s that was popular from when children were just thrown in front of the TV with no parents and they just walk away. You get things like Ren, Stimpy, SpongeBob, particularly Cow and Chicken. I remember that one. And it's just garbage. There's nothing there. There's no art to the comedy. There's no style to the comedy. There's no talent behind it. There's no anything. There's no genius behind it. And because the children of the 90s grew up with that stuff, and they are now the ones in charge of art and entertainment, then because they grew up being told, being shown that garbage is the ideal goal, they then produced worse garbage, and it's going to be an endless cycle until the industry eventually collapses from not having any true talent. Take an example. There's a boy I know. His parents didn't let him watch TV. Didn't have no experience with TV shows or movies or anything like that. He's got a cell phone now. He's entering the quote unquote real world. He's turning 18, going to go out in the world, make his fortune. I showed him a clip of Abbott Costello. The boy was nonstop laughing. He just busted out laughing nonstop. I showed him the best of SpongeBob video, a little 10-minute video on YouTube. At the most, got a, don't know if you could hear that, got a, so that just got my brain going. This came from, I was explaining to him the difference between old humor and new humor, and he didn't understand. Naturally, he didn't understand what I was talking about. And whenever I showed him like, there's your example. Abbott Costello, who's on first? Just dying laughing. Me, I've seen it enough where I enjoy it, but I don't laugh at it anymore. And then what's considered the best of what most people my age consider the best cartoon there is, and you get a that's what I mean by there's no real talent anymore. And I want to study it. I want to go back. I want to figure out what made back then so good. But going on, the watering can of the mind nourishes the seeds of creativity. It goes back to you feed your mind garbage, it's going to produce garbage. That's all there is to it. They used to have a song, "Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. For the Father up above is looking down in love. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see." Which, of course, is talking about God watching everything you do. But you can still apply that to be careful what you see. Be careful what you take in. Because the content you consume, especially as a small child, be careful what content you give your children, your family. Because the content you consume will shape your mindset as you grow older. So again, if you just feed your mind nothing but garbage, you're going to think garbage is the best thing there is, and then whenever you go to make something, you're not going to be imitating great men of old, great talented people of old. Some people say, well, what about the women? I'm using man as in mankind. Get over it. Like you know what I'm talking about. No. But so you're not going to be imitating men of old who did great things. You're going to be imitating, which they say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. You're always going to, an imitation is almost always a worse version of the original. So not only are you going to be creating a copy of garbage, you're going to be creating a worse copy of garbage. If you're inspired by garbage and you're going to make garbage, and you're not going to make as good version of said garbage. I may be rambling, but that's just what I've been thinking on. That's just how my brain works. And I know I don't have the best content there is out there, but I'm trying. I'm trying to do my best. Like I said, I'm not going to make a living out of it, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Hopefully other people enjoy what I'm doing. And hopefully it's quality content, not just content for the sake of content. Oops. This is why you think colors ahead of time. I messed up. I'm going to use a limited color palette. I know I have 30 colors to pick from, but I do like that deep red though. I apologize if a lot of this just goes back to silence, but I just don't really have much else to talk about. Oh, that's the fine tip. We don't want the fine tip. We want the thickness. We want the thick marker. Someone may ask, why do you use so much banjo in your videos? I enjoy it. When I how old would I have been? Somewhere between 6 and 9. When I was 6 and 9, somewhere in that range, my brother got him a banjo, and while he was learning it, he had a DVD with Cripple Creek on it, how to play Cripple Creek. He played it so much, Mom banned Cripple Creek from the house. Weren't allowed to play it anymore. I got a kick out of that, but I fell in love with the sound of a banjo. I fell in love with bluegrass music, honestly. And we had 2 DVD. Well, my brother had and still has 2 DVDs of Hee Haw when I was growing up. And I'd love to find that show, but the people who own the rights to it, they don't want to distribute it anywhere. It can't be watched anywhere anymore. You can get the first season. That's about it. I remember a time in 2015 on not so legal websites you could find the entirety of the show, and I missed my opportunity on that. Oh, I'm messing with those other colors. Okay. But anyway, so you had Grandpa Jones and String Bean. And I went and watched those guys for years, not until I got internet well into my teen years. But just, I don't know what it was. I just fell in love with the sound of a banjo. And then I got me one when I turned 18. So, like, you only got you got a banjo when you're 18, and I guess, yeah, I'm 26 now. So you've been playing for almost 10 years and you're not that great at it? Yeah, I didn't really keep up with it like I should. I had what I was happy with. I'm still that way. I have what I'm happy with. I don't really see much need to improve. I'd like to improve where I can, but I've gone... I've changed my direction, I'll put it that way. I don't really care so much for the bluegrass style anymore. I've been watching Clifton Hicks for the past couple of years, and I've really been trying to get back into old style banjo. I subscribed to him, and I was listening to him, and he said something that's just stuck with me, and it just... some things I've been trying to figure out just make sense now. He said he calls it his songster method. If you can't hear the words when you're playing, then you ain't playing the banjo right. Like, you can have all your fancy bluegrass rolls, etc., etc., but if you can't tell I'm playing Jenny, get your hoe cakes done, then I ain't playing it right. If you can't make out the words, Jenny, get your hoe cakes done, my dear. Jenny, get your hoe cakes done, love. Then I ain't playing it right. So I've kind of slowed down over the years. I've gone from the high paced, fast picking to just more calmer stuff. But I've been trying to really get to know, really learn the instrument inside and out, not just learn a tablature, learn how to play a song, but understand how the thing works. And the more I play, the more I understand how it works, the more I enjoy the instrument, the more I fall in love with it, and the more I want to make that cartoon of the banjo and the instrument for me. Because I like the old piano. I like the fiddle too. The guitar does make that music awful sweet. But when I pick the banjo, my heart's so light and free. The banjo am the instrument for me. So let me hear the banjo, how I like its good old song. It makes my heart so happy, light, and free. And when my toil is over and the working day is done, the banjo am the instrument for me. Oh, let me hear the banjo, I love its mellow strain. It makes my heart so happy, light, and free. And when my toil is over and my heart is free from pain, the banjo am the instrument for me. I don't know, but what do you think? What do you think, zero viewers? How's that picture coming along? I'm liking it. I'm enjoying myself. If my I'm recording this, it's recording for hour 15. It's 15 to 3 at the moment. My wife wakes up, walks in here, is like, who are you talking to? Say, talking to no one. Because I'm talking to no one. I'm probably going to go in, find this. Yeah, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to find these clips. I'm going to edit the voices together or just re-record them in general, write me a script, and just keep the video there. And we need a dark gray on that bucket handle. I did it again. I did it again. I think I have, without fail, always grabbed the pen side of this. We need some green panels in this comic book. I read that cassette tapes are making a comeback over there in Japan. And I've looked it up. I can give me a few specially colored cassette tapes. I might try to do that sometime. I have cassette tapes. I could record. I can put my best effort into an album and record one. I'd like to do that. I'd really like to go over those songs that my former pastor wrote and make those CD quality. Because right now they're just what I'd call archive quality. They're just so I can go back and remember the tunes of them, and if anybody else finds them, they can record them and sing them. Every time I was telling you. We're almost done. You know when I was talking about creating what you want to, what you enjoy doing. I'll say that again. You don't need fancy equipment. I got good microphone recording equipment, good enough for music. I'd say go back and listen to my older stuff that I uploaded. That's just made off of a blue snowball, a Yeti. And if you've been watching this, you can tell this is not good. This is a $5 webcam off Temu when it was on sale. It was originally a $20 webcam. And I don't have a cord long enough to reach my table. So in actuality, this video is tilted. If you see the borders, let's see if I can find them. Let the video catch up. Here, 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 and here on OBS, you have an option to make a background color. That's all it is. So again, just create what you want to create, not what you think will be popular, not what you think would make you money. Because if you do that, you're going to, I heard it called get burned out. But you're just not going to enjoy it. You're going to want to give up, and you're just going to say, well, what was the point of it all? Just do what you enjoy. And do it because you enjoy it. If any of my rambling has made any sense, let that be the one thing that sticks with you. Make what you want to make because you enjoy making it, not because it's what will make you money, what you think will make you money. Never, at least for me personally, and I know it'd be that way for a lot of people, never make your hobby or your passion project your job. You will then grow to despise what you once loved. And I've learned that through personal experience, and I can even tie that into a Mike Rowe quote if you want me to. Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs once said, do what you're good at, not what you're passionate about. I'm passionate about music. I'm passionate about art. Ain't nobody gonna hire me. That's just the reality of it. Not for enough money to live off of. So, I don't make my passion my job. And that's a pitfall a lot of people fall into. They want to make their passion their job, especially on YouTube. There's been there's been news stations, they've released videos saying they interviewed children, and used to be, I want to be a movie star, I want to be a welder, I want to be this and that. Now it was almost unanimously, I want to be a YouTuber. Hate to break it to you, you can't be a YouTuber. You ain't. Chances are, not saying you can't, I take that back, I'm not going to say you can't. Chances are you ain't going to be a YouTuber. So keep passionate about your passion and go make money with what you're good at doing. And something else I've learned over the years, I know, again, I'm a young person, but not to lift off of Mike Rowe again, but he put my thoughts into words. Once you find something you're good at, become passionate about what you're good at. That way you'll enjoy your job more. It won't be a drudgery. Teach yourself to love what you're good at, and then you'll get better at it, and you'll have more opportunities to get better at it and have more opportunities to make a better living at it. Like, I enjoy music, and it was a side project, and I did it. Now I work at a radio station, and I started off working at my favorite soda company. And because it was something I was good at, not necessarily something I was passionate about, I went in to learn everything I could about that business. And then I went on to work in an airbag factory. And I was something I was good at, and I became passionate about how to do things there, how those things worked. And then I went back to the soda companies. And because I was passionate in the past on learning on how everything worked, I was able to take that into my new job making more money. I've been able to take that, what I've learned from those jobs, into other jobs, into parts of my private life. And now I'm working at a radio station. I'm trying to become passionate. I want to do a good job at my radio station, and I'm able to take what I'm learning there and apply it to my YouTube channel and my music, and in turn, what I learned through being passionate on my YouTube channel, I'm able to apply that to my job. Again, thank you for sitting here for about an hour and a half listening to me ramble. I'll upload a quality scan of this book, but I'm going to call it there and go to bed. Thank you for watching.